visions this episode is the Millfield Butcher. The small town of Millfield had always been a quiet and peaceful place, with friendly neighbors and a low crime rate. But all of that changed one summer when a string of brutal murders rocked the community to its core. The killer, who quickly gained the nickname the Millfield Butcher, had a twisted M.O. He would break into the homes of his victims in the dead of night and then use a variety of tools and weapons to torture and kill them. Some victims were strangled with a wire, others were stabbed with a butcher knife, and still others were bludgeoned with a hammer. The police were at a loss as to who the killer could be. There were no witnesses, no DNA evidence, and no clear motive. It seemed like the Millfield Butcher was simply targeting his victims at random. As the death toll continued to rise, the town was gripped with fear. People locked their doors at night and avoided going out alone after dark. Parents worried about their children, and businesses suffered as people were too afraid to venture out. But then, one day, a breakthrough came. The police received an anonymous tip that led them to a rundown farmhouse on the outskirts of town. When they arrived, they found a grisly scene. The walls were covered in blood, and in the basement they discovered the killer's lair. There were knives, ropes, and other torture devices scattered about, along with a large collection of disturbing pornography. The killer himself was nowhere to be found, but the police were able to use the evidence they found at the scene to track him down. He turned out to be a local resident, a quiet and unassuming man who had lived in Millfield for his entire life. No one had suspected him, and his sudden transformation into a sadistic killer had shocked the community. In the end, the Millfield Butcher was brought to justice, but the scars he left on the town would never fully heal. Even years later, people would whisper his name in hushed tones and shudder at the thought of what had happened.